I'm producing this video to support a group that's going to integrate GraphPad with their backend system. And I have to say up front that this is going to require some actual programming. So I can show what parameters need to be passed into a web service that has to be created to pull that information out of your backend system and allow GraphPad to load it. However, that programming has to be done by somebody who specializes in web services, etc. So to begin with, let me just show you where they're going to get those parameters. And if we open the settings and we scroll to the bottom, we're going to see an integration portion. And if the integration is off, what it's going to do is it will just store any appointments you create in GraphPad in core data on the iPad itself. But if you have the integration set on, what it will do is it will download appointments from your web service that you're going to set up. And then you can actually present those and actually use those to preload forms. So in this integration, you're going to see some parameters that are going to be passed as a string inside the body of the post to the web service. So it is going to be a post, and we're going to be passing in the company, the username, and a password. We also see a URL field, so that allows you, that's just the reference to the server you're going to be pulling from. You have a content type. For my demonstration, I actually used a web form. HTTP method, and you can change that, but I elected to use a post, and it's expecting to send a post within the application. I'm not entirely sure you can change that. And then you have this get apps or get appointments, and you'll see a field, and that's the actual service call. So I use one called appointmentread.php, but because it's something you can change, you could you could use any technology. So you don't have to use PHP, you could use Python or Java, any web service technology, as long as you can reference it as a service. So with that turned on, let's show how this is going to actually work with the application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the map view, and this presents the appointments. If you open a individual appointment, when you open it, at that point it's going to cache the information from that appointment as a dictionary, and then it can then use it when you open a form in any of the fields that reference it. So if we go to the second page, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the text and settings, and we'll turn on the field names. And now if we zoom in, and I might not be able to zoom on this page, but you can see the actual field name for each one of these fields. If the data is in the dictionary, it's going to populate it inside that field automatically for you. So in this case, I've got a field name called customer phone, and I did not actually load any data in for a customer phone for this particular appointment, and so it just appears blank. So this is what you'd actually see from a user standpoint. You would just see that the data is being populated. Now, in addition, you'll notice that the username is not only used here, but it's actually used in other forms. So if we go back, and I'll show you the username that I'm referring to, this username is not only used to present just your appointments, and the appointment, originally I was going to have it so you could actually be able to show other people's appointments and be able to swap appointments between different people. I just simply disabled that for right now, and that's something that I might add in the future. But right now it's going to filter based upon the appointment, today's date or tomorrow's date, and I don't have any appointments, and so I use all, and it's just going to say all the appointments that have been downloaded. But that field, as I was discussing, that username is actually used in other forms. So if we open up, for example, the drawing worksheet, and we'll kind of zoom into this area, there's an inspector name. It doesn't get populated until after I type something in, but you'll notice that username is being pulled from the username that's defined on the iPad, and the inspection date is just today's date. So that really shows all the integration capabilities that currently are available within GraphPad, and hopefully this will help that team that's trying to do this integration and give them a better understanding of what needs to be done and what the capabilities currently existing with the application are. Now, if additional information wanted to be populated, for example, so any fields that match up with a form field will automatically be populated, but you could go into downloading more information. That would probably fall into the category of consulting, and I'd be more than happy to help with that, but that's beyond just the dictionary where you have all of your field names corresponding to the data, the dictionary that's being downloaded in the JSON. Any data could be downloaded, but you might want to have further integrations, and that would require some changes on the front end as well. So that's my presentation. Hopefully this will be helpful to that team and to anybody else who's interested in doing an integration. And thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks. Bye.